It's about time we done a video on some cheap items which I believe are value for money. Now, I've been bitten so many times by buying some cheap stuff, like little carabiners. In high winds they just bend and ping apart, etc. I've had tarps and bashes that are cheaply made and they've just ripped in high winds. So some things are good, some things are bad. What I'm going to show you now is items that I've found in a company in the UK called Poundland, a couple of cheap 99p shops, and some of them in Tesco's, which is a UK superstore. So first off the bat were these £1. Now it says here Scourers. These are pretty much a knockoff copy of Scotch Brite, which I do endorse and I've been using since my days in the reserve infantry back in the late 80s. To clean any weapons, etc., they're perfect. And every other day jobs really, you know, scrubbing the mess tins, all sorts of things you can think of. You could even light fires with these. You just connect them to battery terminals, it heats up, bosh, you've got a fire. So many uses, and for £1, for the size of these, very good value for money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them in there. And you can obviously cut these down to fit in survival tins, etc, etc, etc. Anyway, I'm not going to go into detail too much because we're going to be here for a very long video. So for £1 I thought they were excellent. Now some of you guys have come across these before and I've used these myself. These are very nice, they taste delicious. These are just pretty much ready meals, okay? Now, you know, you can cook it in all sorts of ways. When you see microwave, don't let that pull you off, okay? I did have someone actually send me a DM on Instagram saying, I found these in the supermarket, they're brilliant. It's such a shame that you can't boil them, you need to microwave them. So, you know, think outside the box. All this is food that's already cooked, okay? There's no raw chicken in here. This has already been cooked, cooled down, the air taken out pretty much, sealed up, and chucked in a bag. That's all it is. So all you're going to be doing is reheating it, okay? So you drop this in hot water, doesn't have to be boiling, you can simmer it slowly, whatever you want. Just keep an eye on it, okay? Now when it gets hot it's just going to expand. Just make sure it doesn't get too hot and leave it and it explodes. If you are worried about it, there's a little tear there. You can nick that off by about 1 inch or 10 mil or 20 mil along there. Sit it down inside your cooking device with the water going nowhere near it and it will gently cook and the steam will come out. That's if you're worried, okay? Now these, I bought 3 of these today. These were in Tesco's. I don't know how long these are going to be on offer. But they do meatballs and all the other sorts of things. I'm not a big fan of meatballs myself, but these are great. Chicken korma's lovely. Obviously it's not hot, but the flavour's really there, and it's got more calories than some of the other stuff, okay? So if you just put some chilli in there to make it spicy, that is a lovely meal. You can have it with jacket spuds, you can have it with veg, rice, all sorts of things. Now these are going for £1 each at the moment, okay? £1 each, what's that, $1.45, $1.50, something like that. So very, very good value. This pouch provides 1 serving, and what are you getting? Yeah, you're getting 320 calories. So for £1 for 320 calories is pretty good. So I'll grab those 3 today. Pot noodle, that is £1. So for 2 meals you're looking at a dehydrated version. Cook it in there, you don't need any cooking device, just boiling water. Leave the lid on, give it a stir, job done, you got something to eat, okay? Now these are all very cheap, as I said, you haven't got to spend a lot of money. In a pound shop, these packs of noodles, which are great because they cook in no time at all, okay? That was £1 for 5 packs. Now, not everyone knows this, but most of us do. You can actually use this block of noodles to light a fire with. You get the whole block, break a bit off, whatever, and get your lighter under it and it'll burn like a bitch, okay? It's a fantastic way of lighting a fire. If you don't believe me, just try it. Get any noodles, doesn't matter, it's the fat content that's inside there that burns. And I've actually done this with potato chips or crisps in the UK, and it works like a charm, okay? So if you need to start a fire and you just got noodles and water and a container, that's all you got to do. Break a bit off, light it, get a fire established, boil out your water, put it in, job done as a meal, okay? Now that was in Poundland, I think, for £1. Now separately for 20p each, you can get the same in Tesco's. They're doing them. So for £1 you can get the same. But obviously with these you just got one flavour. These you got chicken and curry. You can mix and match. Okay, that's all good and lovely jubbly. Now summertime, I recommend these highly in the UK. I mean, obviously, I don't know how these are going to fare in some in the Everglades or some bitch tropical region. I doubt very much they'll be very effective. But in the UK, you know, we get mozzies, but we don't get ones like in Russia, for example. And them things are on crack, they're massive. But for me so far, every time I've gone out in the summer months, I've just covered myself head to foot in this stuff. After 4 or 5 hours, and I've not got a single bite. Not a single bite. So for £1, for 25, that's cool. And in actual fact, I think, where did I find these in Poundland? I think you get 2 of these for £1 now. So they're not £1 each, you get 2 of them for £1. To shop around, they're very good. As I say, I'm only recommending stuff which I know myself to work and not fall apart. Now this is a great idea, I'm really liking this. And some of you guys have old recognise the name now, Rapide. Very good stuff, excellent. And for the price, £1.25, it's next to nothing. Now the reason behind this is if you're carrying like a 1-blade survival idea, and you've got the blade coated, I prefer my knives made from Tops knives, because they've got excellent coating on there. You can really abuse them and give them shit, and the coating doesn't come off, it stays on there. So what we've got to do is protect the edge. Now the edge is only going to be 2 to 3 millimeters running the cutting length of the blade. Now something like this, a lube pen, can go into most sheaths, or anywhere really, for the size of it. Just give it a shake, press it down, and you just run your lube along the cutting edge of your blade and put it away. That will ensure that your knife does not rust out in the field. And for that price, for that size, excellent, 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 excellent. I've had some really good, expensive, high quality carbon blades. After 24 hours in the field and it's humid, I'll come back and it's rusted. Very bad. Obviously paracetamol as well, they're going cheap. I think I picked them up for 20 pence, 25 pence each. So you can get 4 of these for £1. And it doesn't really matter about use by dates on these things, okay? No matter what it says, I don't know if you can see on there. Yeah, 2020, so that's a long time away, and I suspect they will last further than that, okay? Same old rule, when you're storing food or meds, keep them in a cool, dark place. That's all you got to do. Now that, for 25% extra, that was £1. Now these have so many uses. You can use these as a flamethrower. Excellent. You just hold that down, put a lighter about 6 inches in front, and you'll get a nice decent flame to start a fire, for self-defense, all sorts of things. Just check out the WD-40 website and see what sort of uses you can use for this stuff. Now something that size and for that price, £1 in your bug out bag, you have to consider it at least, okay? So they're out there in the pound shops. Just give yourself some time and go and check them all out. Now this was good as well. I thoroughly like this. I haven't tried this yet, so I can't really recommend it. I just saw the price and thought, look at that. That's high temperature paint, which they claim goes up to 600 Celsius. Now I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, probably 1000 Fahrenheit or something daft, I'm not sure. But that's high temperature paint and it's matte black, as you can see. So when I finally get round to modifying and finishing off my tent heater, my ammo box, I've got a stainless steel shiny pipe sticking out the top. Now I'm just going to give that a whack all over it, and I doubt very much that's going to get hotter than 600 C. We'll see, it's only going to find out. But for £2.99 that is very good value, because a lot of stove paint for that temperature, you could easily triple that price really. So for £2.99 I thought it was excellent. Right, we just cleared all that lot away to get it all in the shot. We continue. These for £1 are excellent value, okay? Now shop around, when you see things like this, when there are around prices like this, or even lower if you're lucky, get them. They last, I don't know how many years, as long as you keep them out of the way of sun, okay? Just keep them out of sunlight. Keep them sealed if you can, they will last ages. So for £1, I've already got a few of these anyway, but I just like to keep a stock of them. Every time you're going out camping or training, I like to call it, for bug out times, it's great, you know, to keep yourself clean. All right, you don't want no grime and grease and muck all on your skin for days on end, because you know your body's going to overheat and it's not going to breathe correctly because you're dirty. Keep yourself clean. Also, you can use these for cleaning wounds and all sorts of things. Right, they're brilliant, especially for £1. You can't really go wrong. These for £1 as well. And for some of you people who aren't thinking out the box, don't be perturbed by stuff with kids packaging on it, okay? 9 times out of 10 it'll do exactly the same, if not better, because it's more cleaner, more controlled, manufactured. But it works just as good, okay? Even with like face wipes and body wipes, etc. The kids stuff, it's exactly the same. So don't worry about all the little silly colours and whatnot. It will do a brilliant job. So things like this for mosquitoes and insects, for the size of it, you know, for £1, that's what, 50p a stick. Man, you can't really go wrong. And if you're really like offended by DEET, there's no DEET in there. Once again, like I said earlier, these probably won't be that good in proper tropical regions, but for the UK, they're great. Not sure about Scotland. Scotland's totally different than England. I know all about insects in Scotland, believe me. So if someone in Scotland is willing to look around for something like this in a Poundland or whatever, if you've got that up there, check it out and let us know if it works, okay? If he's passed the test in Scotland, that's excellent news. If it doesn't, then obviously it's probably just for England and Wales, alright? And what I said earlier about those tea tree wipes, sorry, the insect repellent wipes, it wasn't 2 for £1, they were £1 each. These ones are 2 for £1, okay? Now, I really dig these tea tree. Now, if you don't know about tea tree, just do a Google search on it and find out all of the different benefits that tea tree actually offers. I actually carry a small bottle of 100% pure, unmessed about with oil of tea tree in my hygiene kit. We'll be here all day talking about it, but trust me, Google research into tea tree and the facial wipes. They used to be a little bit bigger than this, like body wipes, but now I can only find facial wipes. So I'd love it if they found bigger ones, but at a push, these sizes, they're still good, okay? You need about 2 or 3 to do a whole body wash, and there's 25, there's 50 there for £1. So you can appreciate you get a lot of washes and cleanses out of those little babies. Now, there's 2 items which I will show you which I do not endorse, which is this. Freeze spray, it's absolutely crap. Walking on holiday, getting myself used to Brecon Beacons when I go out there in October, I suffer from cramps, okay? So I thought I'd try this, some cold stuff. So as soon as I've done some walking and I'm inactive, I've sprayed loads of this all over my legs. And I mean loads of it, probably emptied about 1/4 of a can all over my legs. And it didn't really do anything at all. Useless, okay? So if you see this, don't think, oh, £1, great. Avoid it, it's shit, okay? So I'm just letting you know that one. The same again for this heat rub. Now, this stuff, I just put probably the size of, I don't know, a 10p piece, probably like that. About 3mm thick, not a lot, just rubbed it into my calf. Used it, rubbed it all over the place so it sort of dispersed it more evenly, and that didn't do nothing at all. Now what I've done then, I squirted probably about a 3-inch long line of this stuff over one calf muscle, rubbed it all over it, and it felt a tiny little bit like deep heat, but I mean a very tiny feeling compared to deep heat. It was next to nothing, to be honest. But the sad thing was the cream didn't absorb into my skin. It stayed on my leg for about an hour, and I still touched it and it's still greasy and horrible. So I can't recommend this either. Even though you see it for £1, you think heat rub, that's crap. It doesn't heat up nowhere near as like it should, and it doesn't soak into the skin. So if you want to rub something into your skin like this and give it like 30 seconds or a minute and then put your clothes on, you will be regretting it with this, okay? It's just going to stick to you like shit to a blanket, and that ain't no fun. So I can't recommend these 2. They're rubbish. Get rid of them. It's £2 wasted. But everything else I've shown you in this video, what I've seen so far apart from the paint, is thoroughly good value for money, okay? And that's the end of this video. I hope it's helped and inspired you thinking outside the box. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay funky.